Alrighty, everybody, the countdown is complete. Tonight we kick off week 4 of the Black Hole Multi-Platform League. This time we got two pretty good PC teams facing off each other. First time we're seeing Wise out here as they come in to take on Alchemist. Alchemist, again, I think y'all seen them last week on this stream. I believe they're also the returning champions for this league. I could be wrong.
They are indeed Season 2's returning champions here.
See, there we go. Let's take a look at the maps tonight. Looks like we're going to be doing Cafe, Labs, and then Bank. Now, Cafe is a very, very good chemistry map. Labs can play into that same hand, and then Bank, to me, just kind of falls to the gunfights. Who's going to just be the better swinging team? What's your thoughts on that?
I think definitely in the sense like Bank is not one we typically see here. I think Bank also though relies a lot on just how you play those sites, how you play around that map there. Definitely hoping to see a lot of roaming done if we do get to that map 3 on Bank here. Just because of how heavy some teams use roaming to their advantage there, especially on that basement side on Bank. But like you said, I definitely agree. It is going to be a lot more heavy-handed on the gun skill there. Of course, strats can just do so much for you. At that point, you just have to be able to win your ones, and hopefully they will be able to do that. Of course, Nighthaven, that's a map we're both pretty familiar with here. A lot of teams really enjoy going to Nighthaven here. So I'm actually really excited to see that one here being able to be played for our second map. And then Cafe, another one that I'm not the most, familiar with in Pro League settings typically here. It's not something I've seen quite often from these teams, but really excited for this one. I think this one's going to be another very strat heavy one though. And it's just going to be one that I'm hoping to see a bit of roaming here as well. And curious just to see how they are going to set up everything here. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think everything really does though come down to just who can win that 1v1 in that gunfight, so we'll see how this goes here tonight. Best of luck to both our teams here. Of course, like we said, we do have Alchemist here, which is our reigning Season 2 champions. So props to them on that. Best of luck. And shout out to WEZYs if they are able to close us out here as well and defeat these reigning champions here. But we'll see how things go here. I think they are ready to get started, so
You ready
I
to
think
go?
we should be, yep, we should be
All right,
good
I'll send the
to
message.
start. Oh, I think they're trying to change the names, but I don't think it's letting them change the names. Oh no. That's
Yeah,
all.
they're getting there. Oh, I
Oh
hope he
no,
knows
it's
that you have
going
to.
back and forth between the two. Yeah.
You have to go in and like delete the name out and then punch it in.
Mm.
I don't think they know
Yeah,
that.
you have to. Well, you have to do it. You have to do it before. There's been an issue going on with Siege and stuff recently with customs. You have to do it before anybody joins your lobby. You have to the person that does it. So Badger would have had to set it up before anybody even joined the lobby and stuff here, and so he won't be able to change it, sadly. Luckily, though, here with Wise, they all do have mostly Wise at the end of their names, so that'll make it a little easier for us here to be able to recognize players better.
I say Wise already, like just looking at the names, is coming off as the chem stack. They're the guys who've been together at least long enough that they want to change the names to stay together. Whether the team actually looks this way in a week or two, you'll never know. It's console siege or comp siege. Things change every other day. Alchemist, I know they've been wanting to build this stack together. They've been wanting to rock around for a long time, but they haven't actually started throwing the names in there. I mean, we got Trinsic, who has Turtle on there. I think that's probably the Turtle Tactics team, and then Zila, who's Daystar. So they're, kind of maybe trying out, running tryouts, trying to see where they can fit in. Best thing I can give Alchemist advice-wise, stick together. You guys have that chemistry. Like, this isn't the same Alchemist that was rocking around back in Season 2, but you still have the same leadership in Toxic. You just got to stick with that, head down and grind it and see what you can make happen.
Definitely. I mean, and then also just going into this cafe map, a little bit of information that we have from Wise here. They are currently 8-2 from their past 10 game day, um, just league games that they've played. Um, Having that 8 advantage of winning games on cafe here, 80% chance of winning on cafe. You know, it's definitely going to be interesting if we see that here or not. I'm hoping we might, but I think it's definitely going to also make it a lot harder here for Alchemist to play, just when you're playing against a team that has a map to that high of a win rate.
See, I can agree with that there. And if we look, we see everybody is ready, so we're going to dive into the lobby, sending it to the map screen.
Castle. I've seen teams get rid of a castle in hopes to be playing a Flores or stuff like that to get rid of things like that. So, you know, definitely not surprised or not. Teams get rid of a Flores to be able to play a castle. So we're probably not going to see a Flores here. A zombie is definitely a great pick here as well in that cigar lounge area. You know, you'll have those zombie barricades up just to kind of get some angles to watch for both the hatch drops there. So definitely great bands here. Curious on the Grim and Deimos. I'm really interested to see, you know, are those just two characters that are played heavily by Wise here, or are they just players that they don't want to go against here? Of course, Grim being great with getting people's location and just clearing things out, because you can push an entire person away from their position just by throwing Grim beans, because people don't want to get spotted by them. It gives their location and it gives out so much information. Of course, again with that Deimos as well, he's another huge information player here, able to single out 1v1s here and just try to single out any players they need to. So, I mean, definitely, you know, huge bans coming out here. Of course, though, we are going to see Toxic on Amira here, which I'm not surprised to see considering she's on the board. Of course, as well, seeing a Warden come to play here on this map is another thing that I've seen far too often, bringing that shield into play.
So typically what we will see from this Alchemist team is what we're seeing from Tactics. That's the reason they ban that Deimos and try and get rid of the Grim. They don't like to play against the intel. That's, you know, the Deimos is going to be Tactics' worst enemy here, so he's off the board. What we're seeing off these Wise bans is they really don't like to see the map change all that much. They must have attacking strategies in plan on what they plan to push here. So if you clear off, you know, no castle, no zombies, they can't change the map. You know your swing angles, you know the fight you're going to take. So that seems to kind of be what they plan and strat into. On the other hand, Alchemists love chaos. They love to just be around the map, swinging things, taking fights that they know they shouldn't. And, I mean, again, Tactics playing downstairs, he's setting himself up just for that. Give me 2 seconds, I need to go turn off my hair triggers. That way I can actually cast with the controller.
You're all good on that one. I mean, we are also already seeing here Enzyme on a repel here. We can see the outline. There is a player playing over by that shield. It looks like he's going to try to get rid of that shield here as well, which may end up pushing that player out just a tiny bit. And we are going to see that barely getting away before some shots are sent off by Enzyme.
All him moving off the shield does is maybe just buy a little bit of time for these attackers. They still have head holes to fight against. They still have that Mira. However, the Mira is smoked, buying them another, like, maybe 5 to 10 seconds. Ace charges in, and we'll see Badger getting dropped down by N4. The double swing coming in is Enzyme will go up, get the refrag, taking Trin down. Mosey's fried down by N4. And as I said, this defense is kind of setting up to lock their heels in. They will get the revive off for Badger. A 4-man stack in a cigar shot. And, ooh, a bad swing there from N4 as Enzyme will lay him out. Up to a double pick on the round for this man. And Tactics still playing downstairs. He is gunned down by Badger. Just a good intel play by these attackers. Making the rotate down, frying him out. Twitch moving in to try and hold a long angle back towards that cocktail side. We do have Zelo, who is on the cigar balcony, but fried down by Mace. Here comes Toxic now in a 1v4. Has to do something. Finding one. C4 out. Almost finding another. And he does deny the plant with it. 30 seconds on table. Toxic finding a pick and then trading with Emzyne. Almost clutching the round up for his team. Pulling a 3K, but just sadly could not pick up that final fry.
Definitely really rough start there. You know, we did see N4 on the Echo there playing really, really close off of those Echo drones that he had placed up in Cigar Lounge. You know, just barely missing the shots that he needed to when he would just swing out for a few seconds to try to see if he could catch somebody based off of those pings he had. We are going to see that they're going to go back upstairs here again, hoping to play this out a little bit better than they had last round here. Bringing the exact same loadout here as well. Hopefully N4 will be able to do a little bit better on these swings off of his Echo drone pings that he's leaving for himself. He whiffed a little bit too much there, and I think that was mainly the downfall of it, is that he did whiff on that one guy that was in the corner area, right next to where they usually reinforce and stuff for that one hatch on the stairs. But, you know, just hopefully he'll be able to get a few more picks and stuff this time. Tadix looking to possibly also run out here. Really interesting to see if he'll get this off.
Oh, let me flip over to him. So I'm trying to log into map ban right now.
I'm reloading. All good, all good. He ran out for about 2 seconds. Didn't see anybody. Ran right back inside. We did have one person from the looks of it though that had spawned there. But he is long since disappeared.
Alright, I also have to do tabs in and out. So far, this attack already a little bit slow, but to be fair, so is the last one. Badger making first entry to the building down in Bakery. His job is definitely just going to be clear Tadix out of train. And I mean, Tadix does have a prime position here to maybe hit a jump out. I mean, yes, I know there's Claymores, but he does have a C4 to clear them. However, as he's walking around, he can hear that there is the knock coming up on him and finding that first pick for his team. Already trying to set it in his favor. We see a Twitch drone get lost. However, I think they do lose the BC shield there being played by the Echo. They will. That gives a lot of courage now to these attackers, as we're going to see the Ash try running in on him. N4 eating a little bit more grenade damage. Here comes Ash prepping the swing. N4 surviving with about half HP, getting out of there though. And now 4 men back on site, and we got Tadix playing downstairs in corridor. I think his job now is just kind of hold these bottom red stairs, make sure they can't rotate down to find him. Ash doing everything she can to try and clear that cocktail mirror, but they do have a lot of utility, especially from Zelo defending. A swing from the ace up here on New Balk. I mean, I hope it results in a kill for him. Definitely has an angle to try and poke here. Then Ash coming down on her rappel cocktail side could lead, or not Ash, sorry, Twitch coming down cocktail side. I thought for sure that she was going to try and maybe pinch in onto this Mira. Tadix getting dropped down by Mosey again on those red stairs. And a rush white side now between Twitch and Ash. They're going to definitely pinch these defenders in. The sense creating a lot of utility here. Ace going to be trying to plant, and then I think he realized he doesn't have diffuser. Mace getting gunned down by Zelo. Ash rotating up, swinging himself straight into Trinsic. Trin being dropped. Toxic down as well. Now N4 left at a 1v4. The second one this game already for Alchemist. They just seem to be losing the early round and dropping bodies quick as Wise pulls a second round up.
Definitely. I mean, like I said here, we're going to see that 8-2, 80% win chance on Cafe coming out here already from Wise. 2-0. I mean, they already have their 2 rounds that they would hope to get on that attack right now. It looks like they're going to possibly be trying to aim for a 4-2 in their favor. Of course, when it comes to any map here, you want that 4-2 in your favor when you're on that defense starting. So I'm hoping that we're going to be able to see a bit more play here from Alchemist, able to possibly clutch things up a little bit more in favor of their side of things here. You know, they need to win 4 rounds in a row here to bring that to that 4-2 split for them. Of course, you know, ending in a 3-3 is not the worst thing either, but it's not something you want to end on. It leaves nobody really in any form of a advantage here, especially, you know, when you're starting on the defense. Like I said, you want that advantage going into your attack rounds. So hopefully we'll see some things coming back here. Again, like you said though, is that we've seen two 1v4 situations already come out here in the first two map rounds. So I mean, hopefully they'll be able to win their gunfights here a bit more, and possibly just take down these numbers a little bit more.
It seems to be the Alchemists are beating themselves off the swing here. I mean, they're just losing way too many bodies early in rounds, and I got a feeling that could be the death of this team this match at least. A vertical clear coming now from the attacking team. They're already taking full control upstairs. There's not a single upstairs roam, though, being played. They give up all verticality. And Zelo holds one heck of an angle here from Freezer. Definitely a more aggressive defensive hold. As I won't even call that. That's a full rotate hold. That ain't a head hold. That ain't a foot hold. They have the bakery extension with the small bake being played over here by N4. Flipping upstairs, though. We do finally have Cooler making entry. He's got Mosey on his 6. And they're going to start trying to take some vertical control. They do still have Ram on the board. And I got a feeling she's just going to be the most annoying operator they've had to deal with all game. Now, not much really going on on this defensive side. They're just maybe flipping cams. For the most part, just holding their angles and preparing. You know, typically you want to see maybe at least they prep for a roam. Like when it's quiet this long, you start getting ready to move up. However, Mosey playing off that drones, yinging down, should have rushed Brown, man. That would have made a heck of a clip if you had a kill off of it. Vertical opened up by the Ram now. Badger trying to play it the best to his ability. And I think we're just going to see a full vertical attack here. They don't really even care for going around to outside sight. They don't care about going downstairs. They're just holding everybody up top. Which, if you're a defender in this situation, this sucks. You know, you're being pushed very, very hard. If you're an attacker, though, you need to understand map control matters, and you need to start taking some. Sure, you have the full upstairs, but that is not going to just win you the round. You need to get towards sight. That objective matters. It looks like Mosey's going to be the first one to take initiative there. We do see Kohler trying to open up that freezer hatch, but that freezer hatch doesn't matter all that much as Two-Brow was still on board and will deny it. Badger coming down brownstairs towards Bar. He will have a Two-Brow to deal with, as well as a smoke playing close. Alchemist now leaning into the time denial side of things. They start eating some. Trinsic finding one. Mace getting a refrag on him, though, as they're now going to be trying to swing Toxic down. They know Toxic is playing coat check. And here comes Kohler running in, finding Zelo in the back, as Zelo, for some reason, takes a late, super late rotate. Moving in here to some action. We're going to see Badger get taken down by Toxic. Good finish with that shotgun. The Ram being swung by Toxic as well. 2v2. Kohler going to be trying to go for plant here. Tadix has got to deny it if he wants to win this one for his team. Taking him down and winning the time victory. I mean, a good play from Alchemist. They just
definitely.
If they stay alive, they win the round.
Definitely. I mean, and definitely they realized, you know, if they bunkered down, I think it worked best in their favor. They bunkered down in positions that also made it more difficult for them to be seen from that vertical, which I think helped just waste that time bar out a lot more here. You know, I think it's a 50-50 if we see a ban come out here on that Ram or possibly Sins. Considering I've seen that Sins get played, I think it was played every single round so far we've had. So not surprised on them taking him out. Of course, as well, Goyo's going to get dropped as well. Those fires can just be a nuisance. Still leaves, though, a Capital on the board with those smokes and fires that he can use, which I think we saw last round there from Cooler when they were going for that defuse. Just wasn't enough, though, to cover him completely there.
Nah, I do like the sense gadgets, though. I like how they've been employing that.
They've been using it to control these sites and control these pushes as well, and it's worked in their favor quite a bit here. And so I think that's something that Alchemist has noticed here. They've noticed that it was being used in their favor here, and they're like, you know what, we're just gonna take him off the board. We are gonna see two big swaps here coming from the side of Alchemist here. They're not bringing a Mira this time. They're bringing an Ella instead, which I'm gonna assume she's gonna be roaming downstairs or roaming upstairs possibly here. But you know, it just really depends. I mean, we do see quite a bit of setup going upstairs, which I've been mostly watching here from the Aruni and Warden.
Well, this is one of those sites where the only way to hold it is to hold the verticality of it. If you give up that third floor, the whole entire second floor is lost. However, what we could be seeing from Cooler here, what I think we're going to see from Cooler here, might be a rush up the hatch. Because if they drone it out and they give him the all oxen free, go for it, and they just did, he's taking in. They do have the Ying on the windows, however, N4 will deny Cooler as he goes for the plant. And Toxic, however, is gunned down. Good swing there. We have Enzyme finding Zelo. Attackers now all dropping down in. Trin picking the kill on the Mace. N4 playing close on Mosey, losing the fight though as Mosey gets read by Trin. Trin up to a triple. I mean, two more just to finish it out with an ace as Badger finds Tadix. Now Trin has got an ace to clutch it up. There is no, hey man, do you want the ace? It's a, hey man, you need to have an ace. Watching White stairs because he knows Badger's over there. Badger making a smart play to play his drone here. To give Enzyme the info because Enzyme is still full HP. A double DMR swing is Trin will find it, but Badger will be taken down, or taking Trin out. Giving this one to Wise.
Definitely, I think that was definitely a very smart play there, considering Badger was so low in health that, you know, or was it, Badger was on...
Badger was the low
Badger
one.
was on the line. Badger was the full one. Okay.
What?
My brain is absolutely just like, yeah.
Badger was the lion. He was very, very low.
Okay, he was. Okay, good. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm getting that one right.
Yeah, it was just a good play from
mean,
them. I like the call to Cooler, though, of the go rush plant. You know they're playing the third floor vertical. They're not going to actually be watching site quite this early. However, they heard that zip repel, and they all just knew immediately.
Oh, yeah. I think they played for it, and I think what really ended up, you know, pulling the cord on that attempt there from the side of Wise was just the issue of the Ying didn't go off when it needed to, I would say, in my opinion at least. Is that Ying needed to have gone off right as soon as the Amaru went up hatch. Yeah, your Amaru might be blind, but it's fine. Everyone
If she's
else
just
around
planning,
her
she don't
is
need to
blind.
see. Yeah.
All she has to plant, yeah, all she has to do is plant. You don't really need to be able to see the plant. And then she can just drop right back down that hatch without an issue at all. So I think definitely that was kind of, I think, the big falling point for that round, you know, trying to use that quick rush up the hatch here.
I think they needed to just burn more utility fast. You know, the Ying overcooked her grenade, which that's why it delayed launch. They didn't have any smokes even in yet whenever the rappel happened. They needed to do something to try and misdirect so that the play could happen, and they just weren't prepped for it. Trin, however, has a C4 ripped and gripped, ready to launch it up here at the ace. And here it comes. Finding a first pick. Never mind. Wow, Cooler just lucky to be alive after that one. We do see Mace trying to play some vertical here. Looking down the hatch for Tadix. Tadix was laying some damage out. Being flashed and double push now. He will find Mosey, though. It's just a dogfight for him. He's got to stay up. He's got one on his white stairs. Coming for a swing now, finding Mosey. Good pick there. Laying down, prepping the fight with the buck here. Badger will pick his killo instead. And opening the vert below, Buck almost finding, I believe that is Toxic through the floor. They are denying the use of that mirror, though, which is kind of perfect for what he needs to do. And Bro's just terrorizing him, finding Toxic up through his vertical, though. See, vertical does go both ways. That's one thing a lot of people don't understand. The hatch drop from Cooler straight into N4's face, taking him out. Now it is just Trin left in a 1v3. Push from White, survives the flashbang. Looking through the smoke, he wants the guy that's standing up in top heaven. But Mace will have that DMR pixel angle taking him out. Wise definitely showing up as the better team here as they go 4-1 so far on their attacks. Typically, you see Cafe
Definitely.
as a defender-sided map, though.
Definitely. I mean, again, like I said, it's just, you're seeing a team that has an 80% win rate on a map. They're gonna absolutely just ride through teams on it. They know their strategies, they know what they need to do, and we're just watching it be put into play.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the ideas that Alchemist is having. They're just not staying alive on the gunfights to what they need to.
Definitely. I think right now one of the big things it's coming down to is like you said, it's the gunfights. They're not able to win these 1v1 gunfights, and I think that's really what's kind of, you know, in a way getting them killed here. As well as, we're not seeing a lot of refrags coming out from their side as well, and I think that's another thing that's also, really being detrimental for them. Is that there's not a lot of refrag going on at all whatsoever here. Of course, we are going to see that they're bringing both a Cade and a Tura this time, so it looks like they are going to hopefully be aiming to, control as much of that freezer area as possible, just to keep them off of it, considering that they had pushed heavily for freezer last time.
Well, let's see what we got Doc out here doing. He's getting aggressive on a spawn peek. Tadix trying to prove he's the gunner that everybody knows he can be. And Badger's saying, what was that, bro? You don't know what a runout is, man? This is not gentlemanly warfare. Zelo having a horrific start now, currently 0-5. You don't want to say it quite yet, but I'd say his mental might be hurting just a touch. Kicking it back now onto the hard support. This is typically not a role that we see Zelo in all that often. At least not on his console. Here comes Mace, though, as they prep to rush the Monty through. I mean, you always got to have a Monty. That's kind of a given. And if Tadix had his gun up right there, that would have been Sayonara Monty, as N4 was laying some good damage close. And Monty needs to hit or get swung on here. Down by that little mini pistol. Stim going to N4. And Tadix doing the Lord's work, keeping that prep room and main bakery locked down. We do have Mosey in here trying to make a push out of it. They know exactly where N4 is chilling at. They know exactly where Tadix is at. They just can't do anything about it. Standing outside the prep window, N4 will be getting almost burned to death by Kohler. However, he is still standing. That is, again, that's what matters. As long as he can stay up and alive. Trying to find the angle there. N4 dropping down, begging Tadix for a dog stem. Finding it. The jumping from Kohler costing him. Finding Mosey as well. Double pick. Badger down by Trin. And now it is just Enzyme left in a 1v5. However, I could give him the ability to clutch it up here as Toxic goes for an aggressive shotgun swing close. Gunned down and swung by the head holes. Tadix there picking that kill up for his team. At least giving them a 4-2 split on their defenses.
Definitely. I mean, I think that definitely worked really well there. Tadix able to use the holes that they had pre-placed on the stairs, and so I'm looking away at just the wrong moment there. Of course, like I said, we're hoping to see, a mirror ban or possibly that a zombie ban here again. Curious to see if we see some more kind of, in a sense, target bans on operators they don't want to deal with due to characters that they play heavily. And so we are going to see a shield ban coming out here from the side of,
Wise.
Wise. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wise ban the shields.
From
Yeah.
Wise. Yep. And then of course the Mira ban here as well from Alchemist here. I mean, 4-2, it's not the split you want when you start defense. It's definitely the start you want when you start attack though. And so, considering they have such a high win rate, again, like I said, I mentioned this I think 5 times before, it's not something I'm surprised we're seeing right now. I am not surprised in any sense that we are seeing a 4-2 split in the favor of the attackers, Wise being the ones that have an 80% win. I'm not too sure what the win rate is on Cafe for Alchemist here, but it's not looking the greatest.
I was going to say, they're definitely tanking that round win rate down a little bit here.
Definitely. Of course, another thing you just don't want to see and stuff is that you have every single player on the board here except for one has some kills here. Zello there with 0 kills on the board, I think is definitely going to be a detriment right now for his team, just because everybody else has those kills. Even on Wise's team, nobody has 0 kills. They're actually all going currently positive in some way, outside of, I think, Cooler and Badger both going 5-5
That's a
and then
1.0.
2-2, so going
That's still
completely
pause.
even with the
Yep.
1.0. You know, I mean, I definitely think it's something I'm hoping to see a little bit of a difference here. Hopefully, Solo will be able to win a few more of these gunfights here, starting on this attack. And then, of course, hopefully Toxic will be able to bring this back up to a 1.0. He's only 1 kill away really from it, so of course it's very doable here.
Well, Wise taking a bit of a weird start to this map, or like for their defense here, electing to go for the mid floor first, which I honestly don't hate because you can set it up to kind of test the waters of how your upstairs hold is going to do. Full setup coming. They've got a 3-man upstairs hold, 2-man downstairs, 1 in train, and then you got the Aruni just trying to lock sight down. However, we do see the Alchemist push already prepping the Monty to drop down. We got the repel on Heaven Window by Zofia. And that's going to be a very big part of how they go about holding this. Honestly surprised he did not find the Fenrir as Badger went for the drop down. But come on, Monty, you need to do your thing. Get that ram in there and start taking some ground control, as they will do just that, taking red stairs. And again, they're not even poking and prodding the rest of this map. They're just spending a lot of time, almost too much time if you would ask me, playing the drones and prepping the push here. Tactics will come in though on Cigar, start trying to open up the hatches for him. And N4 rocking in right behind. Enzyme taken down, but C4 through the floor, getting Tactics. Toxic did find a very nice kill there, taking down the Goyo, but losing a Goyo early on really doesn't matter as all his utility is placed. Zelo watching for the run out here. N4 trying to make its way up through Cigar. And Trin now has that full bar control going across, as everybody else drops back to second floor to try and hold sight. However, here comes Monty. I mean, they need to maybe put some vertical going down there. They need to do something. Zelo not even going to make entry to the building yet. He is still just waiting for someone to try a run out here. Badger eating a couple rounds, but again, still standing. Live pings from Mace. They're trying to alert them to where they are. They don't have any more C4s though on board. However, they can still play those guns upwards. That's what matters. Oh god, I feel a sneeze coming on. Oh, I felt it. Thank you. And down comes Monty as he takes control of Hell. Mace eating a round or two. We got the Grim Toxic moving in behind him. Toxic did find Mace. However, Mosey will get the refrag on him. Monty now taking position into reading room. With 15 seconds left, he's got to do something to go for point here. Finds Fenrir. Finds Mosey with a double pick. And now it's just Kohler last up, but Zelo will take him out for his first kill of the game. What a play by that Monty, dude. Coming in and going strong.
Definitely. I mean, as well as the huge fact that we just see here is that I mean,
I think that Monty double is what saved the round. Like, there was 10 seconds
honestly,
left
yes.
when he pulled it, and he just let it rip.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, in that situation too, it really comes down to, you know, if you can make the most out of it here or not. Really interesting thing we're gonna see here. We're gonna see Cooler on a Clash here. Curious to see if they're gonna be trying to use that to attempt to combat with the Monty, but it looks like Trinsic's not even gonna be on a Monty this time. So we'll see how that ends up playing out for him here. You know, like you said, it was a really interesting hold for their first round on defense, deciding to go for that first floor, you know, middle floor, opting to try to play there and see how they could play it out. I mean, I definitely think that it has given them quite a bit of information on how this team will play. And I do agree, is that they did use way too much time playing for those drones and just trying to figure out what they want to do.
Zelo trading himself out for a very, very good pick. You lose your guy who's 2-6. I mean, it sucks to say the buck is gone, but he does pick up one of their upper fraggers, getting rid of some of that star power that they've got. I believe Badger might also be their IGL. I'm not sure. So pulling him off the board early, that gives them the ability to kind of coordinate this attack too down how they want to go with it. The Clash, she's going to be annoying, don't get me wrong, but she's not going to be beatable. A lot of teams will try and position her for either these red stairs, which, yeah, that's where she's playing, let's say, or the small bake, because they're just going to use her to buy time from a very, very easy to push side of the map. However, N4 already taking control of Trade Museum. Tadix coming down red stairs because he knows it's free. And they're going to start ramming above site just to gather all the intel in the world that they could ever need. They need to do something, though, to push this Clash off red stairs. Because, yes, she is just there. Yes, she is just going to be annoying. But she's also going to be a great intel piece for visuals here, depending on if she moves up. And as I was saying that vertical, we got N4 with his super shorty trying to open it up. See, it's a full vertical push. They're going to start clearing down. That is the freezer hatch ripped open there by Toxic. Tadix will find the Clash from up above. And that just rips the can of worms wide open for this defense. I know they probably weren't playing full heavy into that Clash because a lot of good teams won't full heavy a Clash. But you could tell that she was definitely going to be a vital piece of that defense. And here comes Toxic now setting up the hatch drop with the Sense gadget. And if I remember correctly, Sense is a actual good counter to what Mosey is playing as the Warden, because I don't think Warden can see through those pillars of light. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I was supposed to say, I don't think he does. May's trying to hide bar. They got Enzyme also rotating up to maybe assist on a small bakery swing. But, I mean, honestly, they're leaving a lot of this map open by playing the way they are. A drop-down hatch there by Toxic. He's just running in, and he's going to be going for kitchen service side. Grenade coming out from N4. Just trying to buy and deny some time. We'll find Mosey with one. Mace is gunned down by Trin. And now it is Enzyme left in a 1v4 situation as Toxic cleans that round up. And, I mean, we're seeing Alchemist start to warm up. We've seen this last time they played. They're such a momentum-based team, and they play so well off of one another that when they catch up like this, they start making a play out of it. We do have a timeout from Wise. Let's dive in and listen.
Oh god. All right.
I'm gonna dive in there.
I gotta go first because you have permission.
Okay, quick.
We need to lock in these last few seconds. We're just letting it get out of hand. We're gonna run our freezer upstairs. Play aggressive here. Start swinging. Get in their face. Get the opening picks. Let's go here. It's so winnable. These kids are absolutely dog shit. Like, it's so free. Swing. Play together. Double up. Let's go. It's so winnable. Let's go.
I mean, as he's saying this is so winnable, we did watch Alchemist walk him back by 3 rounds. Now, I hate to be that guy. When you're sitting there and having to tell yourself this game is winnable, we can bring it back, 9 times out of 10, it's because your mental is starting to go. You're starting to get upset. And I got a feeling, because just judging based off of what was actually called there, it wasn't a, here's how we're going to fix what's going on, here's what needs to be fixed. It was just a, let's take a second and breathe, these guys suck and we're better. That's not a good use of a tack timeout, in my opinion. It's just more of a, let me bump my ego up. But if you bump your ego up and you lose that round, you're going to be just fully mentally gone. So, I guess a good use of a timeout. They broke momentum. We've seen Alchemist pull 3 rounds straight. But just wasn't as productive as what we hear from teams like, Denial or Malevolent or USAE, where when their timeouts come, it's let's work through an issue really fast. Here's what happened to me last round. I need to talk about it. Or here's what I've noticed on all the last 3 rounds. Let's talk. It wasn't one of those types of tack timeouts. Azami, though, is still on the board now, being played by Enzyme. She's just going to make this cigar lounge almost impossible to push. I got a feeling this will probably be the last round we see her on the board.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, you know, in that sense of things as well, like I said, Azami is huge here in Cigar Lounge, using this to just control the entirety of any kind of push into Cigar Lounge. So I definitely think we're gonna see her as that third ban.
Absolutely. Zilo's starting to rip open the hard breaches. I mean, he wants to try and take that quick walk-in to up in Cigar. Tactics baiting as much as he can for Enzyme's attention. He wants Enzyme to know he's there. He wants Enzyme to maybe try and swing him. N4 and Trin looks like they are prepping a push here. And Tactics will take the kill on Enzyme. And here comes the rush in. They now have control of Bathroom in BC. A nice white hole rush coming from him. Moving up now, we will see Mosey start to react. I don't think he knows where these guys are actually at, though. Does he know he's about to have someone right on his tail? Does he know someone is going to be playing his Bathroom side with him? I mean, I doubt it, but there's a good possibility. Tactics will be taken down. However, here comes Trent up close, pistol in hand. Badger fried down by Zelo. Kohler and Mace last alive. Mace with that shotgun in hand, picking one up. Kohler is gunned down, though, by Toxic. And now Mace is left into a 1v3. They know right where he's at. He will take Toxic down, though. Zelo coming up on the swing. Tries for the wall bang. Does not find it. N4 going to be popping that canister to try and go over for a good res. And Mace using this time now as they res to reposition himself. I mean, not a bad play to try and just set yourself up, center a room, put all the fights to you. He's ready for that swing. He's got two of them on white stairs, which he is denying fairly well. But the drone finding him makes this a lot harder of a push to survive. Gunned down by Zelo from Bathroom. As now we see Alchemist pull the lead back. And, I mean, Alchemist, you know, they put in 4 rounds now straight. As I was saying earlier about that mental chalk factor, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But, man, it's certainly a very good possibility. The Ram and Valkyrie being pulled off board now. Looks like they want to deny as much vertical as they can. And we do hear a disconnect, which I'm not sure who it is.
It's my Siege. My Siege froze and went to a box screen.
Oh, they are pausing for you.
Oh, that's sweet of them. It's already booting up right now, so it should be up here in just a second. Yeah, no, as soon as we went into the next round and stuff, the counter stopped when it was ticking from 4 to 5. And then, it completely just went black screen when we went into the ban phase, and I was like, oh, we're crashing now. Great. But, yeah, like we said, I mean, we were expecting... Azami was banned, right?
Yeah, it looks like they are starting without you.
That is perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. Because I'll be back here in just a second. It's already launching up right now.
Yeah, Alchemists were not happy about that timeout, or that pause whenever you left. They're like, hey, we have the momentum. Like, that could be a good momentum killer. And they were also just laughing a little bit. But then they're at me like, bro, why'd you pause? I'm like, I'm not host. I didn't pause nothing. Don't at me, dog.
No. Yeah, no, y'all don't need to pause for me. I promise. I promise. It's a sweet thought, though. It's a sweet thought. And I am back in here, and I'm figuring we are about to start the round, so perfect timing to get back in.
Oh, yeah, only 3 seconds left as prep phase. Another reading room hold. They do have the upstairs coming, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't hate this defensive setup. It doesn't look bad. I just find it odd that you get a reading room. However, they're just trying to, I guess, find something that works. Because, I mean, Alchemists, so far, for 3 rounds, have ran through their defenses.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another slow attack round. Alchemists have not even made an entry to the building yet. All just sitting there trying to maybe hold an angle and find a first pick. If they can get that first pick, they can weaken a side and start pulling for it. They are droning in, though. And again, not actually seeing nothing on drone that's that important. They do have the camera there, yeah. But not really probing quite over to the other side of the map where they need to. As I'm saying that, here comes Monty. Just trying to be annoying. We'll eat a couple rounds of the back, though. Trent has got to move over here and start trying to take this bar control. Good job from Capcan holding red stairs. Gunned down by Zelo, though. Just a wall bang off a camera. That was a nice one. N4 is C4'd from bar, though. Good play through the vertical. The Monty coming over now to assist. And are we going to see some rounds maybe ripping up here from the Aruni? I mean, she's in the spot to do it. She has that really, really nice DMR. And even through soft walls, through vertical, it just hits like a truck. And a swing from Tadix landing him a kill on Namosi. However, if you look here, Enzyme doesn't even care that much. Zelo being dropped by Badger with his own Claymore. I mean, that's not to ever count for Badger's kill, but to me it will. And Enzyme will take Tadix down, though. Refrag by Toxic. Again, he's only down, though, so he's still alive. Toxic finding a Capcan trap, though. And now Kohler left in a 1v3. Hatch drop coming from Tadix and the Monty. They're taking map control. Trent is planning. Kohler being shot from heaven. That is N4 up there playing it. Pulling the pistol and trying to run himself in close. Not really in a good spot to be using that pistol, though, as Trent will then swing himself over with the Monty to clean up the round for his team. Putting us now onto Alchemist match point.
Definitely. I mean, you know, we saw a huge start here from Wise, and they have lost 4 rounds in a row here currently to Alchemist. Like you said, they get on a roll, and once they're on that roll, they don't stop. And one of the things I am going to point out here heavily is Zelo. We have seen Zelo go from 0 and, what was it, 5? 0 and 5 for their KD.
Yeah.
And they have come all the way back up to a 6-7 now. They've gotten 6 kills and only 2 more deaths here. Definitely a huge improvement from Zelo, getting themselves on the board with kills. Now we have everybody here on the board, and we've seen a bit of a swap here as well. Wise used to have all of their players going positive, or at least having a 1.0 KD, to now only one having a 1.0 KD, and the rest all going negative now. I mean, you know, we've seen a huge comeback here from Alchemist and a huge swap around from them as well in their gameplay. They needed to warm up a little bit, and now they're just coming back full swing here. Of course, we are going to see Cooler on this clash here again. You know, hopefully they'll be able to use her a bit more. She was caught off guard when she was shooting those gridlocks, which was what got her killed originally when they were playing the site before with her.
Well, can opener already hitting bottom white. I've never seen a map fall this attacker-sided before, as Alchemists are just starting to heat up. Again, we did see Wise run a rampage, though, through their attacks. So maybe neither team can defend very well. Or maybe, just maybe, Alchemist wasn't ready for the start of this game. They weren't ready for the aggression that Wise was bringing. And now that they're attacking themselves, they're able to set the pace how they want. That's the big part of why everybody says, oh, the game is defender balanced. It's defender sided. That's where I'd say, I mean, yeah, you're right. They do have the more control. But attackers will always have that hidden advantage of being able to set pace as needed. And we see Badger doing just that, taking that away as he will fry Tadix down. Tadix trying to come in and set that pace running through downstairs. It now makes N4 have to back off a little bit because you can't swing like crazy. You can't go for the kills you want. See Zelo trying to make sure he's clear upstairs. Toxic droning in for his team now. It just took all that momentum and force push that they had coming down through here and slowed them down because Badger pulls another one. Trin will gun him, though. Good refrag there for Trinsic. A vertical play above this clash. Clash should be a good tone setter here. However, without her having that ability anymore to push these red stairs because of those footholds made, we're just going to see some trouble stirring. The attack now just on life support, kind of slow breathing, seeing what they can make happen. Pulling drones and trying to find that little chink in the armor. We have Kohler, though, setting up now main corridor with that class shield. Beeper on white stairs, alerting him to Zelo. And here's where Zelo's typical gun prowess will come in handy. Mace was setting up the swing, but we still have Mosey there. Clash now rotating over to white stairs as we get a full white side walk down. Fire popped. Thankfully, Mosey is able to stay behind his shield to avoid any damage from it. And the play from Trin is Trin will sprint in, taking the swing to VIP. Zelo and Trin both gunned down by Mace and Enzyme. And now we're going to see N4 into a 1v5 for himself. All that Alchemist momentum dropped super early on in this round. They were no longer able to pace change the way that they like to. And again, it just shows. Now dropping down and feeding another kill to Enzyme. Will Wise be able to make the comeback, or will Alchemist shut down this map?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. You know, like you said, you know, we saw that momentum completely come to a halt there. I was watching Badger here, able to get that kill. He was being chased down by a drone, I'm pretty sure, and we are gonna see our another timeout being pulled. Both of our timeouts have now been pulled. Are we gonna hop over and stuff?
I'm heading there now.
Hopefully it doesn't break.
With another.
I mean, I got lucky because I one tap a zombie, bro.
Okay, so yeah, but I mean, I'm swinging in to take her out anyways. Like, you just did my job before I was actually able to get there.
You don't think we just piano default over?
We can, but we have to spray down all the Kibas.
We have like so many things to do, bro.
We have Flores and so many nades.
No, like, yeah, no, we have the util. It's a matter of do we want to deal with it. I don't think they played box though.
No, they didn't play box.
No. That's why I think it'd be better just to do a default.
We can do it. Yeah, we can do a piano. Like, I'll just swap because I don't have the black. Like, because actually, I'll bring the Monty to walk.
Yeah, bring that.
Alrighty, battle plans are being set in stone now for the Alchemist team. What might save your game, by the way, is instead of tabbing in and out, set your thing to borderless. You're not gonna play with high hertz or high refresh rate. And it's gonna like cap your FPS down to, well, it's not gonna be, you know, the full effect of it, but it's a seamless transition in and out of the game, and you have less chance of crashing as you tab in. What?
It's on borderless already, so that it doesn't go black when I alt tab.
I don't know why yours is crashing then.
Tab, mine will go black and stuff. It's the only time that it's crashed. I don't know. It might just be that my Siege had decided to be buggy.
Yeah, good possibility.
We'll cross fingers, hopefully.
Yeah. Are you back in?
Yes. I've
Alright,
already
so far
been
so good.
back in and everything.
Alright.
I haven't not crashed yet, so we're chilling.
Well, you heard Alchemist setting up a pretty decent plan, because they don't want to actually deal with this as on me. Now, how they choose to go about that, well, that's up to them. But they don't like her, they don't want to deal with her, and I don't blame them. See where the rest of the attack is planning to come from. They have the Brava, they do have Flores on board. They did bring him because they knew the Azami would be in play. And without them even having like a mute or anything to actually stop a Flores, they might as well kiss these Kibas goodbye, because they're going to be almost useless here very, very soon. Drone coming in to draw attention, and a zombie barricade's pulled, making her retreat back to BC, clearing out piano room for the most part. However, Mai making a fast rotate across to red side, and now going to start pulling himself up red stairs. If he's able to get in there without the Monty hearing, things could get very ugly very fast. Enzyme is gunned down though. Badger now trying to play impacts below. He wants to find him as they rappel in. I mean, not a bad play from Badger though. Very high IQ setup for it. There are still 3 guys up on roof. The Monty is the only one in sight. They need to do something to support him as he starts trying to take ground here. Because if he was by himself, that would have been just a bad situation. Monty, seeing that foothold, though, made by the impact coming up of Badger, knows, hey, it's probably a bad idea to walk on that. But with him now taking the long hallway control, I would assume he's seen Badger there. I'm not going to say for sure that he did. But Tadix and N4 rotating in to assist. We have Toxic now coming in his window to assist. We're going to see these guys start trying to take some defender ground here. They need to make a push, though. They cannot just stall out. Once you have piano control, you got to keep rolling with it. Mosey gunned down by Zelo. Keep pushing forward as we see Zelo just walking in on him. Kohler being taken down by N4. And a walk up onto Badger for Trinsic. Going 7-5 to map 1 in Alchemist's favor. The attacks were off the charts. Oh, let me
Definitely. I mean, you know, we saw a huge turnaround here from the side of Alchemist here, able to bring back a 4-2 split into a 7-5 win here on a map where Wise has an 80% win. I mean, I would call that a huge turnaround here. You know, definitely a huge job here from Alchemist, able to get that momentum running and keep it running here. So beautifully done there from their side. We're going to go into Nighthaven Labs here now. Hopefully, you know, Wise will be able to bring it back up here and take us to that third map. But, you know, it really just depends on how everyone plays here. It looks like, if I am correct, players pick side. The person that picks sides is the one who didn't pick the map, correct?
Typically, I believe so. Yes.
So Wise had picked Cafe for their choice of map and lost it. We're going into Alchemist map pick here of Nighthaven Labs. You know, is Wise going to be able to take their map pick, or is Alchemist going to be able to take that role they have from Cafe and bring it in here? They are, from the looks of it, starting on the attack here. So, you know, definitely going to be a change of pace. Hopefully they'll be able to pull it out here. I think we're going to be going for a little bit of a break here, though, while we wait on things. I haven't seen anything really yet, but I know teams typically do a 5-minute wait. I am ready whenever, though.
I'm just going to tell them that we're ready.
Sounds good.
Because usually if we say we're ready, then they dive in quick and just, okay, yeah, let's go. As Alchemist now say they're ready, we're going to be waiting on Wise. Yeah, I got a feeling, I don't want to say Nighthaven's going to play out the same way we've seen Cafe play out. But the way that these two maps play, yeah, Wise said 1 second. But the way these maps play, it's going to. They play into each other so well. They're such a team-reliant swing map. You know, it's not like Bank where you can just go in 1v1 the world and come out on top. These maps, you know, who you're with matters and how you push matters. As we could hear from the side of Toxic and Alchemist, during that last little timeout that was called, they were sitting there making a game plan prep as they were rolling. And, I mean, I don't want to compare the timeouts. I'm not rooting for either team here. But the timeouts being called and then the way that the timeouts actually played out, Alchemist were using the timeout to fix an issue. Wise used the timeout to say, these guys suck and we're better. And I believe that could have had some factor into why the game ended the way it did.
I mean, it's the difference between a timeout that they use for a tactical timeout, as most would typically use it for, and a more mental timeout, which is where, you know, I've seen teams use both, right? I've used both as well. It just depends on how your players are and how they play. So, you know, if you see that a player is having issues, if they're struggling, you know, that's when you want to have that timeout pulled for a mental, right? You want to let them have a mental reset, take a break, be like, hey, we got this, we can do it. Like, let's like reset, lock in, stuff like that. And then you see for like the tacticals, that's when they start planning things out. They talk about things like, hey, we don't want to deal with this as zombie. If we do this certain push, we're going to have to get through all these Kiva barriers. How do we get through them in the easiest way? And that's where we saw them bring out that Flores drone, absolutely just mowing through these Kivas and pushing these people around like it meant nothing, you know. And I think it's just a huge difference between, you know, the type of timeout we saw from both sides. and just how they really affect a team here.
Yeah, how you pull these timeouts is just something insane. I mean, they can definitely swing your mental. Like, as someone who's played for a little while, if the timeout goes well and it's not just I'm coming in here to point a finger, if like we're coming in to be constructive, those are the timeouts that like you typically see teams pull out. And then I believe there's an 80% win rate on TAC timeouts for competitive leagues, for pro league. It's I want to say roughly 60 to 80% win rate of I called a timeout and then we play this round. Did we see that here and there? I mean, for console leagues, for lower, not low tier leagues, but like T3, T4, T5 leagues, typically that is not the case because the timeouts aren't super well utilized. Looks like Wise is now ready to go. And for some reason they're starting it because N4 said he is ready. So we're going to dive into Nighthaven chat.
He was abused last game. I'm not surprised one bit by it. Trinsic, of course, saying no, my Monty in chat just adds to the funniness of it all. And of course, we are going to see that Maverick coming out for that ban here on our second ban from Wise here. They had already told us before, Maverick is their go-to ban for one of them, right? They're always going to have a Maverick ban. Second ban, it's just going to just depend on how that team plays. If it's the second map, then it's probably going to be something focused that they did not want to deal with and they had to deal with on that map. You know, like I said, you see a lot of players and a lot of teams that will abuse certain operators and, you know, by that third map, they're getting taken off the board because they don't want to deal with it. Of course, you know, Mosey here is going to be playing the Azami here. I'm going to hope to be seeing him playing, and looks like he's going to be setting up here in top of warehouse, so really excited for this. You know, it's no surprise here though to see an Azami playing top of warehouse here, considering that's really what her util is used best for. It's where we usually see her. So I mean, it just really depends here, but we'll see how this goes for him. Ace still on the board. We're gonna see him pulled out as well. That's gonna be your hard breach here, and they don't have any hard breach denial either. So I mean, I'm really curious, are they just that willing to give it up? You know, we do have a Goyo on board, but do they have a Goyo canister on these walls? They don't. They don't have it on either of these walls here that are reinforced. That leaves it completely open to Zello to open up the entirety of this.
See, typically though, when it comes to Nighthaven, it's not a matter of if they get wall, but more of when. Instead, though, they're not trying to buy any time, and it's just already popped. That when was only a matter of seconds. You know, you got to at least do something to deny the when, not the if. You're not going to ever stop the if. They can play below. There's so much they can do. They're going to take a wall here. But they got him way too soon. Now, if Alchemist is able to actually push advantage off of having these walls open, that's the thing we need to see them do. So far, they're not really looking like it. They do have a nice, not a roam game, but an extension here down waterfall hallway for the defense of Ella and Smoke. However, you would have thought you would have seen the Smoke playing up to maybe defend IT wall or defend connector wall. Not really what they're actually attempting, though, as the Nomad is starting to take IT control. Running in, jumping in, getting aggressive with it. And coming up here for a swing is Trin. Upset that his Monty's gone. Looking at Toxic as he sprints his way up warehouse. They now have a lot of map control really fast. And they are just continuing to take through. N4 going to be there to reinforce Trin if a swing comes. Zelo coming in top warehouse rafter door. And Toxic, however, is gunned down by Kohler. Playing close on server wall. And we got Mace trying to hold a long angle and pixel angles onto these attackers. Now, they do have map control here, but they have no back pressure with it. What I mean by that is there's no one coming connector, there's no one coming waterfall, and they're just allowing Mosey to pull up to a triple. And N4 now, last alive in a 1v5, being quick peeked there by Cooler just a little bit. And you know Mosey's saying, hey man, let him swing, I want to get a 4K at least. As N4 is walking up, trying to quick peek him, eating a round to the chest, but managing to stay alive. We gotta hope N4 can pull something out of his bag of tricks here. At least get a kill to his team in this first round. And no, Badger's just going to instead choose to walk out and walk him down. Putting straight BTA that first round. We see Wise pull it in their favor.
Definitely. I mean, you know, they had that map control on one side, but like you said, they didn't have that backside pressure. And so when they got pushed into these angles and stuff, they just absolutely got mowed down here. You know, Mosey was there on that Azami, getting pushed around quite a bit by those Flores drones, but still able to hold ground and able to just control as much as possible, then able to also get a 3 kill there. Beautifully done. You know, all 3 kind of, in a sense, just perfectly lined up for him there, you know. I mean, it sucks to see it, but, you know, beautifully done by Mosey, able to take advantage of that, putting him in a 4v1 situation in their favor. You know, really, really well done here. Of course, we are going to see Mosey now on a warden here. Hopefully, we're going to see some roaming here as well from him. It looks like we are, though. Interesting pick from Mace, bringing out a castle. I'm not too sure what they plan to use him for, but it looks like they're going to do it just to help with Mosey to keep him a little bit safer here from these attackers.
So what I've been noticing lately, with PC teams especially, this upstairs roam being played by Castle is becoming all the more popular. Kind of like the old SSG hold on Clubhouse. Like, it started as a cliche, maybe a one-off, but now more and more you see a Castle setting up to try and hold the command center, making sure that they can hold down the bottom warehouse. Like, I know it's a bit of an odd setup, but it's still a very, very super effective one. And flipping upstairs, though, they already have the 3rd floor control. Coming through, they're ripping walls open, they're ripping everything apart. Here comes Trinsic on the Blackbeard, trying to get aggressive. And he has the holes in the floor here, they just don't have the ram in the building yet. For some reason, she's electing to come in down in the lobby. I would have much rather seen Tadix actually be upstairs, making a safe push in, than a wicked wild one like what he's doing. With the phone calls coming out from Dokubi, though, does make things a little bit safer. And, I mean, they're now just waiting on N4 to break open this window. Legion is there. Badger being taken down by Zelo as they both go for the double swing to him. However, Enzyme is still just chilling here, kind of safe. Eating a couple rounds from that AK, managing to get away as Ace blows open the pantry wall behind him. And all that verticality control that they had, they are starting to lose here. Blackbeard rushing down onto the castle. However, Blackbeard needs to be careful because he does have Mosey on his left. Mosey finding Zelo with a first pick, though. Toxic finding Enzyme with one. And let's flip it back here for the Blackbeard as he is prepping now. Castle walking up. Castle gunned down, however. We did see, I believe, one of their players lose to that Castle. We couldn't tell who it was because of how quick he came off the map. And the call coming there for the Deimos, and Mosey getting dropped by Toxic. Now Kohler is left in a 1v3. Going upstairs, instead of trying to lock down sight, he decides, hey man, if I push up here, I can just shoot him in the back. And he is found by a live drone. And that will immediately force N4 and Trin to start pushing into sight. Kohler holding back Cargo's side. But that doesn't matter much as it's a full EXO execute. And play it will go down. N4 going to be trying to get wild on the swings here. It's not using his Deimos tracks, though. It's instead just using it to, you know, his AK to try and maybe swing down and buy some time. That DMR Kohler has, though, is absolutely deadly. But it doesn't really matter all that much when you got a Blackbeard sitting there giving live cams, as well as the ability to shoot at you. And here comes N4 with a wild swing from the hole in the wall. those can openers do some justice and put one into Alchemist's favor.
Definitely. I mean, you know, they took away his Monty. He still wants to play that shield, and he's gonna play a Blackbeard. I mean, I'm not surprised. It definitely was interesting to see him pull out the Blackbeard here, but it's clearly working in their favor. And I think that's what we're gonna see for that third ban is gonna more than likely be either that Blackbeard, Ram, or Deimos. Like you said though, is that Deimos isn't really becoming much of a threat here. He's not really using his pings all too much. And so I don't think he's going to be really high on that board. I think they're more going to try to go for Trinsic here, trying to take that Blackbeard off, because like you said, he has a giant walking shield basically that can shoot you down really easily and be a living camera, just like a Clash. And so, you know, I think in some form I'm kind of hoping or expecting for a Blackbeard ban to come out here. And then of course, you know, we're looking towards possibly either a castle ban or some other ban like the Yo-Yo, or possibly even if they do decide to target, then going for that Warden. But, you know, it really just depends on how these players decide to go. Of course, we are going to see Mace setting up here again upstairs to help play for Leahold upstairs here again, looking to be able to bring this back.
I do expect the Blackbeard ban to be the one coming up, as Trin has just been ultimately annoying with it. He does a very good shield play. He is a great shield player, and he just knows how to get in your face without, like, you know, exposing himself too much. However, for the defensive ban, if they didn't get that wall there, I was honestly expecting to lose probably the Tuberal.
Yep.
For some reason, with all of that anti-breach now that they have, they still managed to get the single wall. And they don't even care. After taking single wall, they're gone. Hatch is now being ripped open too, as Kohler is standing there with the Tuberal, doesn't even throw up for him. I mean, there's a lot of anti-breach utility being brought that's not even being used. Flipping over there, we do have Trin though, taking space through kitchen like we know he will. And he finds the Goyo for the first one. Now that he knows Goyo is backed off, he's just going to elect to shoot and destroy that beeper. And a wallbang coming here from from Trin, as Tadix will find Mosey. Good combination, playing off live pings, grenading down for the Goyo, and we're going to see N4 getting aggressive on the rushdown, pistol in hand. They need to do something for a push here. Mace is gunned down by Trin. They still have the Bandit though, who could be helping out to hold this Exo. Instead, everybody Exo side will drop off and run away, falling back. Enzyme being tracked now by Deimos. Badger walking up into Tadix, finding the kill. Now it's a 5v2 as they plan to execute towards site. Zelo missing Enzyme just a little bit. And the recoil, I think, just getting the better of him there. Going for the re-swing. Instead, we see Enzyme pick it up. Tadix there, up to a triple kill. Taking Kohler, avenging his boy. Enzyme finding Toxic and Trin there to fry Enzyme. Yeah, the Blackbeard is being pulled off of the board, I think, this round.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, especially after that round, I would be surprised if he isn't pulled off the board here. You know, I'm not too sure what we're going to see, though, pulled off the board for defense. Because, like you said, we have a lot of anti-breach, but they're not really being put to use. They're getting that little tiny can opened on that wall, on assembly, and then they're just running away. They're just going to make noise, and then they're leaving. And so they're gonna go for the Azami. I mean, not a bad pick in my opinion, especially if they go upstairs again here, like we were seeing here, going second floor, command center, and servers. You know, having that Azami taken off the board, that removes a lot of coverage for anybody trying to possibly play in top warehouse. So I definitely think that's definitely a very smart play here. Of course, Tadix still though currently on that Flores, and Trinsic is on the blitz. Oh my god, he said you can take away 2 of my shields, I'll still have 2 more, and he's pulling that blitz out right now. I mean, you know, props to him for sticking to it, but still it's just, you know, in some sense diabolical. He is dead set on being on a shield, and I'm sure if we saw a triple shield ban here, taking out the Monty, the Blackbeard, and Blitz, I'm sure we would have a good chance of seeing a fuse shield here.
I mean, like in Pro League, when you have that shield player, that is their role, that is their job. So he's just going to keep playing the shield. He's going to keep being the run-in. Except now we see him swap over to the Capital. 6 pick, last second for the clutch, I guess. they decide, hey, we don't need a shield to push this, but we need something to try and maybe force them back so we can take ground. Perfect for what Capital does. However, maybe the Blitz is the better option if you're just trying to take space. I want to see how he chooses to use this Capitals, though. They do have Enzyme roaming down in storage. I mean, they have no wall denial yet again. And wall is ripped open within the first couple of seconds. Clash is there trying to get aggressive. And with Nomad standing right behind him, if that Nomad gadget pops this Clash, I'm going to bust out laughing because it's going to be a free pick for him. And Mace eating a lot of damage. Trin and Zelo both being gunned down. Popping, that's Badger gone. Mace being knocked as well. And a good pick there from Toxic as he finds at least the Clash. Mace getting only knocked back, not killed though. N4 chillin', just trying to take control downstairs. Finding Enzyme as Enzyme comes in for a swing. Low HP, but it doesn't matter for this man. He has the good 44 Vendetta. Tadix walking up warehouse, finding Goyo, taking him down. Toxic now trying to help cover and assist. N4 maybe going to be playing below with that Deimos, which is not uncommon. However, Mosey going for a quick swing there onto a live ping on Tadix. Mace still 1 HP in a dream, has got to figure something out to do here. N4 playing below, Mosey going down. It's now Mace in a 1v2 with like 1 HP. This is the old 1 HP in a dream scenario. The clutcher kicks that they used to do back when you could actually kick people from your lobby. This is where it matters. Now, is he going to be able to make something out of this round, though? That's the question. He's trying to get on the aggressive because, I mean, he makes a point. If you're defending here, you got to aggressive swing these guys because they are just going to swing you no matter what. With the run-ins coming there, we see N4 go with the 44 to the head.
I'd swapped over to N4 because I was just curious, and they have him on ping, and he still had one left. And as soon as I saw they still had one more left on the board for that Deimos track, I knew it was in game for that, since because you know he's, like you said, he's 1 HP in a dream, and that 44 Vendetta will rip through you. And so, you know, they definitely played it, I think, very smart there, having that Deimos up still in that 2v1 situation with a Trag on board. I think that just closed out the entirety of the round there for them. You know, it's hard to play off a Deimos track whenever you have 2 people now staring at you, one that knows your exact location every single time you move. Of course, we are going to see Trinsic. It looks like he's going to opt to stay with Blitz this time, at least from the looks of it here. Of course, you know, we are going to see that they are going to swap things around here, going first floor instead. Control and servers, you know, or not servers, but control and
storage.
That one room. Storage. I know it starts with an S. I looked at the person upstairs in servers, and I knew it started with an S, and my brain just was like, oh, servers.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's second floor. Definitely that though. But definitely really interesting here. You know, hopefully they'll be able to hold this upstairs really well. Mosey here on the Bandit. We are going to see Bandits going down on that IT wall here. Hopefully they're able to hold that just a little bit longer. And then going to Bandit off the server's wall here from the looks of it.
I mean, they've got Kohler coming up too on the Tuberel. So these walls should not come open for at least a minute and a half, maybe longer. However, N4 going to be trying to play below, ripping it with the Zofia, but Kohler is setting up an IT to help deny. And we could see an aggressive swing from Kohler coming down onto N4's head. Because, I mean, he's only a Zofia. Zofia's just, they usually die pretty fast. But a warehouse push should be looming for these attackers here. Spraying it open, Zelo eating a ton of damage. That 50 Beowulf will get the job done quick, 9 times out of 10. And electing to pop his Goyo now. They're actually using their utility to their advantage for the first time I think we've seen all game. However, Tadix has control of the control room hallway over near forklift, making the push and popping the Goyo to try and block the sound of his drone going off. And we're going to see him try and push into control room. Castle is the only one in position to even block this. That's if Castle tries for a swing. Will we see a plant? There's a very good possibility. However, Tadix is taken down. The Grim not quite able to see the swing down from Legion. And they need to do something to lock down control of this warehouse. Letting the Legion rotate right in front of him. Trin just not pulling the rounds off. Maybe that's why we see him playing as the shields typically. And N4 making the rotate, pulling through now. Setting up in control room for the plant to come down right behind him. Zelo going to be planting. Vertical made up above, finding the kill going up. We do see the castle go down as well, though castle barricade's still up. Toxic pulling more kills as he takes down Badger. Now into a 3v2. Diffuser is being planted. Zelo at about 10 HP. And they're not doing anything to try and deny a plant. They're more worried about keeping control of that upstairs. I don't know if the comms weren't made that they've got downstairs control, that they're going to go for plant or what. But this is now turning into a 40-second round where they got to push in. Cooler finding Zelo. Good first pick coming into this for his team. Or not like first pick, but first one on the diffuse side. Starting to set up a clutch. 20 seconds on the clock. The Grim Bees are just absolutely everywhere. In a swing finding Toxic. 15 seconds now. Enzyme going up for plant. Bullets trading over towards Trin. We see N4 rotate up, taking down Enzyme. Now into a 1v2. Cooler has nothing he can do here. Out of time and out of life as N4 will win the swing. 4-1 so far in the game.
I mean, we're seeing a repeat here of that other map on Cafe, just in the complete opposite. We're seeing the attackers here pulling out 4 rounds right now in their favor. You know, that leaves Wise with only 1 round left that they can take in their favor to go into these attacks. I'm really starting to believe that both of these teams are very much more attacker-sided than they are defender, because they just absolutely mow through the opponents on these attack rounds. But when it comes to these defenses, when they're playing on defense, they're just struggling over and over and over here to win even just 1 round or 2 rounds. So, you know, definitely not looking great here, though. I will say, huge shout out N4 going 6-1 right now, absolutely just destroying the entirety of Wise here. I mean, huge play. Of course, we do have Toxic there close behind him. 6-3 here right now, really pulling those numbers in for the side of Alchemist. Hopefully Wise will be able, though, to bring out this last round here for him to at least put him in a 4-2 situation and a little bit better of a stance going into their attack rounds.
Well, Wise is employing a rather aggressive setup for their defenses. Currently a 4-man split upstairs with a 1 chilling down. Now, this could go in their favor, as we do have Mosey, though, getting dropped by Tadix, taking control of that control room hallway. I don't know, the cam was shot, but there's got to be some sort of audio alert or audio cue for Tadix moving in. And Wise is just not responding to it as he finds that first pick. Instead, now electing to give up that much control of that side of the map. Toxic going to be trying to go in and clear the upstairs top floor. Now, as we know, there's nobody up there defending it. However, they do have to deal with Enzyme and Badger now. The 2 guys that they're going to be trying to lock down this lounge storage side area. If they can keep them out of the Exo stairs, that gives Wise a very good chance to win this round, as Exo Execute has been one of the main things that we've seen Alchemist doing time in and time out, as now we even have Mace going over to try and hold it. Cooler kind of just chilling here. And Trin finding Badger, Tadix finding Enzyme. Now down to a 2v5, Mace electing to come up maybe on a rotate. Cooler going to be the guy that has to lock sight down by himself. And Mace will find that pick there on a Tadix, getting rid of one of their upper fraggers. However, runs himself into Bees, taking down Zelo, going for defuse. Cooler finding Toxic. Cooler finding N4. Now it's a 1v2. Diffuser is planted, though. Zelo giving up sight control, rotating out just to defend. The Bees still rather annoying, as Trin now has the upstairs control and is just going to sit here and watch Diffuser. He doesn't have to actually make a play. He just has to sit there and hope that nobody can defuse on him. And Zelo just going to chill on his drones. Cooler knows that there's someone up above, though, standing into the fire. Tadix putting question marks. I think that they're laughing at him now, as what we could see is a 5-1 split here. As Cooler sprints in and will actually kill himself on the fire there. I mean,
And we're
Alchemist
gonna
taking a
see
5-1.
array of question marks. Yeah, 5-1 split going into your defense rounds here. I mean, hopefully they'll be able to play the defense rounds out a little bit better here. Like I said though, both of these teams seem to be very, very attack oriented. So when it comes down to the defense rounds, they seem to struggle a lot more. You know, like I said though, we're looking for that ban of a hard breach here as well. And we're gonna see it. Ace being taken out as well as Cade off the board. That still leaves Bandit currently. Are we gonna see the Maverick ban, and are we gonna see a Mira or a Zombie ban? You know, it really just depends on what these teams are willing to deal with and what they don't care to play against. Looks like we are gonna see a double hard breach and double hard breach denial, and instantly going into a timeout here from the side of Wise. Alrighty, are we gonna hop over?
Yep, jump over.
Just mental reset here. Attacks, we're golden.
Hey, better. I had to turn mine on like 2 rounds into this map because I looked over and it ended on me.
Mine's still running, but like I'm never gonna send it anyway.
I love how we're getting the listen in despite their timeout. We spent half this time out laughing at him killing himself with a Goyo can.
Attack, we get 6, easy, done.
100%. It's 100% doable. Yeah, I'm gonna play the Cappy here. Mosey, play that Nomad.
All right, I jumped over into the Alchemist chat just to listen in for a second while I was in there, and they said, "Hey, yeah, we were just talking about Moss real quick. All that we did for over half of this timeout was sit there and laugh at him killing himself to that Goyo canister." Looks like Alchemists are having some fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I mean, in these games, you know, one of the big features and one of the big things that a lot of people say is just make sure you're at least having fun with it, you know? As much as, yeah, it's a little bit stressful here and there, you always want to make sure you're having fun, and it seems like Alchemists are doing just that there. I think Cooler was thinking it was going to go down a little bit sooner than he thought, and that fire just lasted a little bit longer than anticipated, and I think that's why we saw him just run into the fire, hoping that it would go away within a few seconds. But, you know, we are going to see both Mira and Azami are on the board. Both of them are going to get played here. Zello on the Azami, Trinsic on the Mira, and then Toxic on a Clash, starting us out here already, bringing that shield into play. You know, it's a really big split. It depends on which of these is going to be the biggest nuisance that they're going to want to get rid of in round 4. But, you know, it just is going to depend on, you know, how they play these characters as well. Of course, you know, a zombie barricade's easy to get away with if you bring like a Flores or possibly even the Ash here. It just depends on what they decide to use these on.
I mean, they all even have the Fenrir set up on board. So it seems like they're just going to be going for the massive time waste plays, which, I mean, is kind of not a bad play. Nighthaven Labs, I mean, statistically a usual defender-sided map. You know, I mean, you do see 50-50 splits a lot. Yeah. But it's typically in favor of the defense. So for it to run 5-1 in Alchemist's attacking favor, I think Alchemists are going to want to shut this game down quick. The Clash up here being ultra annoying. Losing her shield, though, so now she's nothing more than just a walking pistol. Zelo and Toxic being gunned down. Badger and Mosey coming up aggressive, but a double C4 from Trinsic to clean them out. And Enzyme trying to play below Trin up to a triple kill as he takes him. Mace coming in here now, warehouse side. We got Cooler sitting out here on IT wall. And, I mean, they're just going to swing themselves straight into the man who is playing the meat grinder right now. However, Trin eats a lot of damage off that DMR, taken down. I mean, that's the overconfidence right there playing from him. He knew he hit those 3 kills, and he just thought, I am the man, I am the world, and went for that swing. But the shotgun cleanup from Tadix, taking one. Mace now going back for where default plant typically is. He still has a C4 in hand, though, to deny it. And there it goes. Shot out of the air, though. Rushing in with a shotgun as Tadix goes to clear it up to a 6-1.
Definitely. I mean, that shotgun packs a punch here. Like you said, though, we did see Trinsic there. He had that double C4 kill, and he got the kill through the floor. And, you know, we're going to see him get a little greedy there, get a little bit too confident of himself, thinking he can go for that ace, and he's gonna get gunned down. And I mean, it's sad to see because we love seeing aces here, especially from players, you know, that are playing really, really well during a round here, but they have to still be able to play it smart.
Yeah, I think some of that smart thinking went out the window by Trent on that round. He wanted to just say, I got an ace.
I will say I'm not surprised seeing him now being the one on the Clash here, considering he's been our kind of, I guess, in a sense, shield player the entirety of this game. I definitely was expecting to more see him on the Clash rather than the Mira, but he still played beautifully on that Mira as well. So really excited to see how he plays on a Clash here for her shield.
I mean, Zelo, who started last map a little slow, and then heated up really hot, is now back to being ice cold, back to 1 and 5. He does have 6 assists though, and Tadix is trying to set up to hold this upstairs storage. It looks like they will be doing a vertical hold. Trend setting up for cafeteria side, and N4 gonna be the ultra aggressive hold up in CC. I mean, now typically a warehouse command center, all that, those holds are normal. We see that vertical all the time. However, very rarely will you see a second floor hold, and not to mention a double setup for second floor hold with Zelo up there. Toxic, however, does find a rip on a cooler, gets down though. Enzyme taken down. Badger trading out. Mosey finding Trend, now down to a 3v3. As the start of, I believe, an Exo side push is coming. Mace is taken down by Tadix. We have Mosey rotating through Exo. Badger over here, also an Exo with him. 2v3 situation. Vertical is being played up above by Zelo. Tadix going to be making the rotate down control room stairs to help his boy out. And I mean, it's just a full upstairs hold. They have the control. They're not giving it up easily. And with the shotgun coming through the floor, we're going to hear diffuser start to get planted. However, Tadix coming down. Triple kill on it. Going for the quad. Laying down with the shotgun and getting the kill. For a 4K to close out the game tonight. 6 rounds straight for Alchemist.
Oh my gosh.
What a game.
I mean, I don't know if you were watching. I was watching there, the Clash. I didn't realize Sludge, he used his hammer and he was able to not only knock her shield away, but basically do the exact same of what a Nomad does and just completely send her to the ground, which is what ended up in her demise. I mean, beautifully, beautifully done though from both sides. Huge, huge game though for Alchemist. They're able to bring that 7-1, closing that out. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's honestly rather impressive. Yo, Tadix, Trend, GG, Mace, Kohler, GG, guys.
Hey, thanks, GG, bro. That was a fun game.
Dude, heck of a 4K last round, Tadix.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alright, getting all the GGs in and out to them. Looking back on that game, I mean, not really a whole lot to talk about besides just Alchemist playing how we always see them play. They get that momentum, they run with that momentum, and there is no stopping or shutting them down as soon as they start picking rounds like that. And they played stellar. You gotta give a lot of credit to Wise though. They managed to try and keep up. They were trying to take some of these rounds close. They are still, I believe, a relatively newer team. So congratulations to them. They're doing their jobs and they're doing them well. That first map was very, very like two-sided though. I thought for sure it was honestly gonna roll in Wise's favor.
Definitely. I mean, you know, we were hoping for that comeback here, and you know, we see, you know, Alchemist was just ready to roll, and they absolutely just blew this second map out of the water here. I mean, coming from that cafe map, like I said again, a team that has an 80% win chance on a map and being able to bring it in their favor is just huge. So definitely, I mean, props to them on that, as well as in closing it out here on our second map, closing this out on Night Haven Labs. I mean, just beautifully done.
Yeah, I mean, Nighthaven, again, it's a defender-sided map. So for them to have started on the attacking side and managed to go up, what, 5-1 in the split, that's just an insane feat in and of itself. So, I mean, GG's to them. GG's to Wise. I'm thinking we're going to end the stream out here unless Honeybun has anything she wants to add.
Trinsic had made a comment about you giving him a post-game interview. I have just replied telling him we could possibly hop over for an interview if they want, and we have got a confirmation they are wanting to have an interview. So do you want to join me and hop over into this VC2 with them?
I mean, I'm server muted, but yeah.
Oh, that is fair. You
Yeah,
are server
let's
muted.
do it.
So, Forrest is server muted, so he's unable to speak.
Wow.
He's been server muted this entire time and it hasn't been taken off. I mean, how are y'all feeling though after those 2 games? 7-1 closing that out. How are y'all feeling?
Feeling great.
Great now that you're here.
Feeling amazing.
Feeling great. I feel like YZ just can't compete against us. We're like up 6-0 on them, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah, especially you got Big JD on your team. Shit's free.
I'm back.
Oh, he's on server muted.
Here we go.
Like,
All right.
Go for it.
Hey,
First thing, Tadix, what a 4K. Zelo,
Thank
Come
you.
on, tap.
what a way to heat back up map 1. I loved it. I don't know what you did, but yeah, you started to heat up. Great plays. Trin,
Thank you.
I hate you for playing shields, but awesome plays, my man.
What about me? What about me?
Yeah, there's just nothing for you, dude.
I don't know you. Nah, you're a random.
You did.
Toxic.
Oh shit.
Hi, how you doing?
Thanks. Bye.
Oh shit, dude, bro.
Whoa.
Yo,
Oh,
get Goody on here.
Past that. No,
Yo,
no.
get
bro,
Goody
no.
on here. She's gonna defend his man, bro.
Yeah, bro. No, we're not doing this today. See,
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm playing.
see, no. No.
Jaden
You
first
ain't
big
see
game
one of my
in 2
Deimos
months.
plays? You ain't see one of my
So-
Deimos plays?
Yeah.
Like, what's
No, I
going
caught
on?
some of them. I like the Deimos plays. I like. There were some really good ones. Then there were times where I was sitting there like watching, and I heard Bun go, "He's got like 3 in pocket, and there's only like 1 guy left. What's he doing?" I'm like, "He's
Yeah,
playing
it's 'cause
Deimos."
It's not my fault Tadix kills. It's not my fault.
Yeah,
Tadix
he didn't
kills them
even
all.
need to use them. He didn't even have to
Tadix
use
just
them.
That was
kills them
just
all.
walking
So I'm
them
just there.
down.
Yeah.
Tadix is good at walking them down. He did that quite a lot.
Walking them down, but
Yeah. Hey, make sure you just know my Jones were there behind him. So.
Yo, you said that one tap on Cafe on the
Are
zombie?
you sure?
Chill, Jones.
I think I might have seen it.
nope.
One of us probably did.
Yeah.
Y'all saw me find the Malusi though when she was Deimos track throwing the 2v1 though.
Mhm.
Yeah, y'all had to see that one. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking to see now if I've got any clips from the stream.
What about when the Ella got turned on down in Control Hall? That bitch got fucked.
Oh, dude, that was a flick and a half right there.
That one was nice, huh? Yo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Come on.
Trin, I will say on Cafe, the double kill with the Monty was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They never
Yeah, stretched out the round.
Yeah,
That's
just
called Trin,
on that
the big
Monty.
fat loser he is with the Monty. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, he is a loser for playing as the shield, but that was one heck of a play. And
I'm
then,
just saying, I heard they prepped and they should have seen that Malevolent double banned the shields and we won like 1 attack. And they left the shield.
Yeah, if you banned his
for
shield away,
they left most of the
they
shield.
get some more
Entire
rounds,
series.
but they just didn't. And they gave us, Thermite and Ace on Nighthaven. That wasn't
Yeah.
smart.
and then
Well, they had PTSD.
another clip I have, it was from on Cafe. It's just the teamwork and communication between Tadix and I'm assuming Jaden is N4. But
Yeah. That's
it's you two just locking it
Oh wait,
down.
I gotta see this shit. I gotta see this shit.
That's what we do. That's what me and
Look at
Chad
you
do.
just
You know, that's-
scrambling.
Why are they jumping in? No, why are they jumping?
They fed you some kills, but I mean,
Why are
dude,
they jumping in?
but now from our perspective, watching that the whole time, N4 wasn't letting nobody come through that door, dude. he got stimmed twice just standing there trying to stay alive.
Yeah,
Dude, you saw me jump on the table to dodge the
Yep.
cafeteria fires?
Dude, and no, he's just like, he's edging this fire out right here. Like, he's just standing there, barely touching his foot, and he's probably just sitting there going, no, please, no, no, no. You could see him shuffling away from the flames.
I was so scared. I thought he could see me from the window, too. So I was just panicking.
But overall, great games, guys. Y'all play Momentum really well, and it makes a very entertaining cast.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, for.
Thank you.
I was
We had
absolutely
a
rattled
lock in
when,
on cafe. We couldn't go out
that-
like
That
that.
was like our
Timeout,
first
you know?
time actually ever
Yeah.
playing our cafe.
Yeah.
Really?
So that's why our defenses. Yeah, we
Yeah.
played. I mean, we scrimmed some.
We
contra
last
players,
second
but-
got a scrim.
Yeah,
and
like,
they-
but they were
They like
they
trolled
left
the
and
second
they made a
half and quit
5v3.
early.
Oh, wow.
So that was really our first time playing that cafe.
Yeah. We just get straight belt to ass, boy. Straight. Oh,
Well,
do.
like,
belt, boy.
like watching the games tonight,
Belt, nigga. Oh.
neither team was good at defending. Like, every defense, like, both maps,
Yeah, our defense was pretty
which-
terrible.
which should be
Defense
50-50
Our
was-
night
maps,
haven was
defensive leaning.
was better, but
Yeah.
What can you do when Tadix
our
walks
cafe
down?
defenses. That's because we literally that was like our first time actually running those
We-
cafe defense.
We
strats.
like voice chat dry ran
Yeah.
them before the fake scrim yesterday.
Yeah.
Played like two legitimate
was
rounds
fake.
before they started
And
trolling and then
they
started
just
quitting out.
rushing in, yeah, and then they just all left.
Alright, well, I'm gonna end the
So-
stream here, guys. Any sign-off words for Wise? Any tips for the future? Don't ego them. Give them some tips.
Gun challenge,
y'all-
boy. Oh, straight belt.
Y'all
nigga.
did great,
Oh, boy.
but we on the come up. There's no challenge that.
And shields.
Ban shields.
Playing bench shield.
Ban shields,
Yeah,
or at
definitely
least
ban
ban the
shields.
heart breaches, because the bans were bad. They kept a lot of our
You got a full
a
commit
lot
to
of our good
banning them.
ops up.
All
Yeah, they
right.
were going like half and half. Like they banned the Mav, but then they banned 2 shields after that. And we don't ever play the Mav. We hate
Hell no.
Mav.
I don't.
Oh, we know. Oh,
So-
we know. Oh.
And we
Yeah,
heard
I
beforehand,
know. I know, bro.
like, beforehand, we were informed. Well, Bun was informed. I just kind of heard a little bit of it. That they even film reviewed and prepped for you guys, of knew what to ban, knew what would be played, knew how you guys played for certain. I think was it Nighthaven, Bun, that they said they prepped for.
We've played labs every
Yeah.
week in this league.
They
so probably not
prepped
labs.
they prepped for Night Haven, and then they are currently they're now 8-3. They had an 80% win rate on Cafe. They were 8-2
shit.
from their past game days.
Jesus.
Oh, shit.
That was genuinely our first time playing
Bro,
Clash.
Nah.
then ask why they banned the Goyo, bro. That they target ban me, bro.
Yo, because you just walk
That's
them down,
normal, Tat.
Tadix.
I mean,
Yeah.
Tadix,
no.
welcome down.
Hey,
Tat. Hey, Tat.
Earlier
Hey, Tat.
today.
That's default. That's default.
It's default.
we
bro.
got a text earlier that
bro.
they actually like put extra prep in to beat us, and
But
that we
no,
should
for
go-
those, so you say
we
they
needed to go
prepped,
over
and they
stuff
banned
more.
that Mav. That's crazy because we never ever played a Mav.
Yeah.
Yeah, like unless Toxic's on it, like we know
We-
that
yeah,
we lost, bro.
we ran maps once, and it was club against
Yo,
Malevolent,
chill.
and that
Yo,
rushed
chill.
up because
Yo,
Because
chill.
Toxic doesn't know how to play the
Yo.
Mav.
Chill.
Yo, understandable. Maverick tricking is hard, Toxic. I got you.
No,
See,
it's
I-
so
hey,
hard.
he
It's
didn't even
hard.
have
Hey,
to trick.
you
he just had
know.
to make a
You
line.
know it for.
Nah, but in reality,
it's hard. It's hard.
in reality though, Toxic, it's
Yeah,
not that
before.
bad.
he didn't have to trick the wall. He just had to make a head hole.
Oh,
Nah, I had to
do
trick
that.
the shit.
oh,
No, you didn't.
It's not. I will say it's a lot. It's definitely an adjustment, like being used to doing it on controller and then having to do it
Yeah.
on keys.
dude,
That is true.
watching some of
You-
like the like
you don't have the
higher
speed
tier
control.
teams that like I've been casting a little bit of PC like a lot lately. Seeing how much they actually want Maverick over like Ace and over Thermite.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
weird. It's freaky. I'm not used to
Yeah,
it.
we do not
I mean, it's one of those things.
Because
If you,
it's
if you get
consistent.
really good at it,
Yeah.
and especially walls you can repel, you can do. You don't even have to go from end to end. You can just do like that
you don't have to
middle
worry about
jump,
the tube trick or
similar
the
to the
trick.
Habana trick.
All right, then that's what I'll leave you guys with. Learn the Maverick trick. Caster 4 signing off.